James, Saudi Arabia, with all the money, everything flowing in that direction, all the stars going over there, Jordan Henderson might be trying to come back to Europe on loan at Ajax or at Chelsea or somewhere. And all these stars, I don't think, are having the best time ever, right? Now, former Balon d'Or winner and a personal favourite of yours, I know for a fact, Karim Benzema, not having the best time at Al Ittihad, I believe. Missed a few appearances for the club where I believe it's you have to be there kind of as a representative for the club. He's missed a couple of things for a few weeks now, and he's been banished from I think a warm weather training camp in Dubai, I believe. What this has led to is him potentially leaving the Saudi club. His performances supposedly haven't been very good. They had a match against Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr, where I believe they lost 5-2 or 5-3. Cristiano Ronaldo got a brace. Benzema did not score at all. What this means is, if you're Arsenal, I'm looking at you. If you're Chelsea, if you're Manchester United, if you're any team in desperate need for 6 months or so of a striker who, even at his age, can still do it, is Karim Benzema the type of guy you want to take a punt on? So I'll ask you from an Arsenal perspective, and you know the few questions I'm going to ask you as it relates to football transfers, but let's talk Arsenal quickly. Are you going to benefit from Karim Benzema for 6 months, or with kind of his history, especially some of the social side of things? I know he's sometimes a bit of friction with some of his teammates. Is that not something you want to touch?
Karim Benzema in the Arsenal team, Jack. This is a transfer that meant to happen, 10 years ago, right. 15 years ago, Jack? I remember 2016, 15 times the link that he was already on a plane on his way to Arsenal and all that stuff there. It would be an incredible sign, and a player that, in my opinion, still has a good bit left in his tank at the highest level, Jack. Yep. In my opinion, a player who left as the best striker in the world, Jack.
Yep.
I have to be honest, the first thing I'm going to say is I've got a big up Cristiano Ronaldo. And seeing the way how he's went there and really had no issues or word about it, and just seeing the way he's enjoying his football and playing and performing. A lot of these guys have went to Saudi, for this crazy amounts of money and are not performing, and now are asking the audacity that after 6 months, Jack, they think about it, not year, not 2 years, 6 months.
Yep.
They want to be out of there. If I was the Saudi president, I'll lock them all up. Don't take my money and expect to be doing all this nonsense.
Right.
Yeah. But if that's the case, and a player like Karim Benzema is available and Arsenal can get him, Jack, that's a no-brainer. That's would he improve Arsenal? I think he would make us, wouldn't say title favourites, but we would get right up there with Man City. I mean, even Jack. Another thing I'm going to say, that Champions League, it becomes a thing where Arsenal becomes a top 3 favourite with a player like Karim Benzema, a player who's had an incredible record in the Champions League. I think close to 100 goals, or probably over 100 goals, 5 Champions League. So we kind of, it puts us in a very, very good state if we can get him.
And he starts straight away, no questions asked?
That's not asked. Again, okay. As long as he's fit and there's no injury issues there, if he's ready to play, Jack, you put him in there. I'll have no doubt about it. He comes in there, as long as we can create chances, the minimum that he'll score is 15 goals in 6 months. That's the minimum.
So let's move on to Chelsea, because I don't think it's a question as whether he starts or not there, because I think as Nicholas Jackson, he has some upside and some benefit. I think that Karim Benzema goes in there and definitely starts. How much does it damage the progression that Mauricio Pochettino is trying to make out of this young Chelsea side if a 36, 37-year-old guy who's just been playing in Saudi Arabia comes in and takes the number 9 spot from them?
I don't know what he would do wrong in that situation, Jack. Here's a football player who is a pure goal scorer. We've seen Chelsea create tons. I mean, Jack, a boatload of chances. They needed a consistent striker who can score that. And by you bringing in a player like Karim Benzema with the experience, Chelsea have the youngest team in the Premier League, Jack, a bunch of 21-year-olds. You bring a player with the knowledge, with the understanding, with the skill set of Karim Benzema. It takes Chelsea to a level that they maybe think that, could we push for Europe? He's that big of an upgrade to what they have. I don't think that he holds anyone back. In my opinion, he improves a lot, Jack.
Final team, Manchester United, lots on Rasmus Højlund's shoulders at such a young age with no other real strikers in there because Anthony Martial seems to always be ill. I don't know what that is. Marcus Rashford seems to not play through the middle. Is that potentially something that you can see working as well?
Massive, massive. A player who has the arrogance, who has the sort of just attitude to play out at Old Trafford. He isn't faced by any sort of situation. He's played for Real Madrid for so long and understands the pressure. I think if Manchester United were able to bring in a signing like this would be possibly the best thing that they could do. Like one of the best signings Manchester United had in recent years. Granted, they haven't had too many, in my opinion, was Edison Cavani.
Right.
And the fact that he came in as an experienced player who could help the others, I feel like in 6 months, what Benzema can do to these others, yeah, and especially a player like Rasmus Højlund there, he can help teach him and show him the type of runs you can make, where to pop up to score goals. This would be an absolutely incredible signing for Manchester United in so many ways, and it will work so well for them. And especially with the three teams we mentioned, goals. They need goals. He scores goals. It's a must.
So, you know my two questions. First of all, your Karim Benzema or your Karim Benzema's agent, whatever, where do you want him to go? Does he stay in Saudi Arabia? Does he go to one of the three teams we've mentioned? Or is there another team that you think would fit for him?
Jack, I think it's either he stays or if he's going to go, Jack, I think that the team that he would end up with is Real Madrid. You know,
Right.
Real Madrid this year, they have Joselu up front right now. He knows the club. He loves the club. In my opinion, he probably shouldn't have left, but knowing the money that was on the table, he had to take it. You know, he still had a big part to play in Real Madrid right now. In my opinion, they're a striker away from being right up there in Manchester City in regards to the Champions League. Looking at the squad they built with Jude Bellingham, Vinicius is back playing. He just scored a hat-trick against Barcelona. Benzema comes back in. It's not anything that he needs to gel back in, Jack.
No.
Every player knows in there, bar one, who's Jude Bellingham, and they'll be working together well. So no brainer for him if he is going to come back to Europe.
That's
Team
what
he
you'd
probably
say.
wants to come back to is just back in the Los Blancos, Jack.
And then final one, your prediction. You've got 100 quid. Where's your money on going for come February time? Where is Karim Benzema playing his football? Do you think he'll stay in Saudi Arabia?
I think he'll go back to Real Madrid. It's either Saudi or Real Madrid. I think his love for Real Madrid is there, and I think that he still has unfinished business there. And in a way, it's like I still got a little bit more to give it. If I can give it to them, I'll give it to them.
Just for full colour, if I was telling him where to go or I was him, James, and you're probably going to think I'm saying this just because I'm on the call with you, I would get myself to Arsenal. I would go rejoin that French connection. I would start. I'd have selfless players giving me the ball. Martin Odegaard finding me, Saka finding me, all these guys finding me, and I would try and take Arsenal to a league title. What a way to do that if I was Karim Benzema. Because, James, for me, it's a free 6 months. Nothing's going to damage Karim Benzema's legacy. If he comes to the Premier League and struggles with injuries and doesn't get used to the league or whatever, no one's going to think any less of him. It's Karim Benzema. Balon d'Or winning, multi-Champions League winning. Guy's a stud, World Cup winning stud. What I think is going to happen, I think he'll probably end up staying at Saudi Arabia. Got to be honest with you. I think that a meeting will happen, something of that nature. They'll figure it all out, and then he'll probably continue playing his football there. However, guys, as much as mine and James's opinion is important, we want to hear yours in the comment section. What would you do with Karim Benzema? Which of those three teams, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, who needs Karim Benzema the most? Drop them in the comments. Drop a like on the video if you like what you've seen. If you're not subscribed to us, James and I are so close to 1,000 subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button. We'd really, really appreciate it. And until next time, we will see ya.